And now we are joined by the winner of tonight's Toyota 500, Denny Hamlin, who had his happy face on at the end of the race. Denny, talk about that race-winning run tonight.
Yeah, it was, sorry, let me give you a little bit of light here.
There you go.
Yeah, it was good. We just were really good all day, all night, or whatever. Just we made really good adjustments between the two races and really worked hard to get our car a little bit better than what it was here on Sunday, and really things just kind of worked out. We got that long green flag run where we made up a lot of track position. I don't know where we restarted, but we certainly made up a lot of spots and got to pretty close to Chase there before the caution came out. We was just going to be a few laps before we overtook him, but at that point, then Brad stays out. 4 cars on the lead lap. I thought the right strategy, since the 15 was in the mix. I thought the strategy, you wanted to be on the outside on restarts anyway, so I wanted to come out of pit road last. That way I had fresh tires over Chase, who stayed out there and had 2-lap tires. And at that point on, another caution comes. We decided to stay out because we had just taken tires and we didn't have enough tires left. So we were trying to re-glue those tires that had 2 laps on them, and wasn't able to get them glued up in time for us to pit. So we decided to stay out, and it was the right call.
Okay, well, we're going to open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please click on the participants button and raise your hand. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We were going to start off with Bruce Martin. Go ahead with your question, Bruce.
Denny, congratulations. You came up in an era, late model racing, where you'd race all around the region and, weeknights, weekends. We've been talking about midweek NASCAR races for the last couple of years. Now that we have them out of necessity, would you like to see them move forward with this in future schedules to get as many races in as possible in a more condensed period of time?
Yeah, everything you said, copy and paste. It's certainly – I think, especially during the summer months, I think there's an opportunity for us to own the summer when there's less sports going on. But NASCAR's got a great fan base as it is. No matter what's on TV, we got a very avid fan base, and certainly believe that we can make it work. And I think the fans and a lot of people have spoken about midweek races, and it's unfortunately that we're in the position that we are, that it's forced our hand to do it. But I'm really happy that we've got the opportunity now to be on a bigger stage on our own during prime time on a weeknight.
And have you developed into a routine yet with the shorter days in between races, and also showing up at the venue in the, with the the social distancing and the precautions? Are you developing a routine with all that?
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's, things are different. To throw a kink in it, you got rain. It's pouring down rain the whole way down this afternoon, and, you're not knowing whether you're going to race or not. So, it's going to take a while, but as soon as we kind of get used to it, there probably won't be any weekday races. So I wish it was something that we could keep for an extended period of time, but I definitely like that we're doing it now. And we did it at such a great racetrack. This track's always put on great races, and glad to see that Darlington's getting on the stage like they should be.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Davey Segal. Go ahead, Davey.
Hey, Denny, congrats on the win. I was just wondering, whose idea was the mask?
It was mine. I was just thinking that, I texted my guy that helps me out with some social stuff, and I was like, it covers my face and it covers everyone's face, and you're kind of like, you really don't get any sense of any emotion from them. And I'm like, man, you need to make me like you need to find someone that can paint me like a happy face and a sad face. Just kind of depends on how the race finishes. And so we only had happy masks today, so I guess that was a sign that we didn't need the sad one.
Good on you for that. And third career win at Darlington. I know you said that this place means a lot to you, and it's really tough. What does it mean to you to get a third win here?
I mean, I just love the racetrack. It's one of my favorites, certainly in my top 2 or 3. It's just, I think it's a driver's racetrack. I think that the driver can make up a little bit of maybe what his car doesn't have with moving around the racetrack, different lines, throttle and brake application. There's a lot of things that a driver can do to make his performance better at this type of racetrack. So that's why I like it so much. And really, from my very first start here in the Xfinity Series back in 2004, I just took to it quickly, and we've had a ton of success and ever since. So it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question will go to Bob Pockris. Go ahead with your question, Bob.
Yeah, Denny, did you see Chase gesturing to Kyle, and did you have any thoughts when you saw it?
No, I didn't see it, but I didn't see anything with the wreck, so I don't. It's hard for me to really say, Bob. To be honest with you, I'll watch the race later on tonight, but no, they said that somebody got clipped, and obviously Chase I guess got clipped, but no one's giving each other any room. I mean, this race, although it didn't finish barely, it seemed like just the perfect distance of making us have to really push the entire race to fight for all we had, and really the right cars were up front at the end anyway. So I think it just made that intensity ramp up, and it's probably some of the emotion that you saw.
Well, Kyle Busch said that he misjudged it and apologized for getting into Chase, but can you kind of describe how close is the line versus, I mean, you guys are so good, but yet how you can misjudge something and make it look kind of so bad or so intentional?
Yeah, because, I mean, we have to make abrupt moves to get in holes that will close in a matter of a half a second. So more than likely there was somebody on the high side, and I'm just guessing here, and Kyle was trying to fit back in line on the high side before, and try to time when the 9 was going to clear him, and just mistimed it. So, what was going to happen is Kyle didn't get up there, and I'm just assuming because I don't know.
It's the other way around. Chase was trying to come up, I think, and Kyle clipped him.
Gotcha. So, I mean, everyone's trying to come up because, if you get stuck on the bottom, I mean, you're screwed and you're going to lose a bunch of positions. So this racetrack is one of the more favored as far as you have to be in a specific line or else you're just going to lose a ton of spots on restart. So you have to be on the top or else you're screwed unless somebody messes up. And so it's a tough track when it comes to the restarts.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Jim Utter. Go ahead with your question, Jim.
Denny, talking about the guys that were around you, you were engaged in quite a battle fending off Kyle and Chase and a few others when that incident happened and then put us under caution. Any sense of how you were positioned to play out the last 20 laps if they actually went green?
Yeah, I mean, we were I don't know. I mean, we had just run a pretty fast lap up to green right there. I was able to hold it, pretty well wide open through 1 and 2, of course. But 3 and 4, we carried a ton of speed. And I thought we actually, we did clear Kyle there on the exit, even though he was beside us. So I thought our tires were good. We had seen Truex, I think, early in the race stay out on 8-lap tires, which is the same amount, and that he was able to hold the lead for an extended period of time. So I think it was the right call for us. I think it was the only call for us because we had just pitted and taken our last set of tires, which he warned me about, and we didn't have we weren't able to re-glue those 2-lap tires back on yet. So we had no choice but to stay out, and it was the right call anyway.
A quick follow-up. How do you feel JGR, after these couple races at Darlington, is positioned now? Better than you were the first 4 races or making improvement?
Well, this was by far the best race that we had as far as being competitive on speed. So I don't know what that says because it was a night race and there was more on throttle time. But I think that, we're still behind. I don't think that we can sugarcoat it in any kind of way and say that we're in good shape now. I think the Hendrick cars in particular are the class of the field right now. Throw in the Ford, no matter where the Fords are, the Ford's always fast. We saw the 14 very strong today. So I think we still have a lot of work to do, but I saw some improvement from Sunday to today and that was just setup. So the cars weren't a big difference. It was just getting your car right for the racetrack, and maybe we're not putting, maybe putting more emphasis on the actual setup and having the car drive good is something that is going to be better for success for us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Justin Schuler, Kicking the Tires. Go ahead, Justin.
Denny, congratulations. 2 top 5s for coming back after the big break. I asked earlier some of the other guys, but I wanted to ask you as well, since you had the 2 top 5s. But what's the biggest challenge having so close races like this and having it be a night race and a day race like this?
Well, I like that it's different. They're different lengths. One's day, one's night. So I think it gives an opportunity for you to make adjustments. I personally loved the invert, even though it was not good for me. I qualified or had to start 16th. I just thought it really mixed up the very beginning of the race. Had some guys that were able to go up there and lead some laps early that you don't necessarily always see up front. So I really like what NASCAR did with making the second event a little shorter, a different time of day. So you're not going to have just someone who ever dominated on Sunday go out here with the same race car during the same conditions and dominate again. I don't think anyone wants that, but it could happen. But they mixed up the conditions enough to where there were some different players in it. And luckily for us, we were a top 5 car in both.
Okay. Our next question will come from Andrew Curland. Go ahead with your question, Andrew.
Yeah, Denny, there's so many new eyeballs on NASCAR now that it's one of the first sports to be back. Even last Sunday had more people watching the race than The Last Dance. With all these extra people watching, is there any added responsibility, pressure to, showcase the sport that we all know?
I mean, certainly there's pressure. I mean, I think that I read that 30% of the people that watched on Sunday had never watched a NASCAR race before, or they didn't watch one of the first 5 races or 4 races. So, I mean, we're getting to a bigger audience. This is what kind of our sport was built on back in, the late 70s and early 80s is that, we were such a huge sport in the U.S. and people were passionate about cars. They're not as passionate about cars now as what they used to be. But the competition is real, and you see, we're able to put on a great show, and I think that it's a good time for us right now. We're on a big stage, and I think everyone's stepping up to the plate and really doing a good job to make sure we're giving a good product, a real product, and not just putting things together just to get on TV.
Thank you, Denny.
Thanks.
Okay, Denny. Well, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on having an awesome face mask ready to go in the car. That was good. And good luck as you head into Charlotte. We'll be talking to you tomorrow at 11:40. So, folks, if you had questions for Denny, he will be back tomorrow. So, Denny, congratulations. Have a great night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.